send us will keep our ends up, and they will know that they'll be playing against the famous O2 Blues.
Good morning, patrons, and welcome to the Barwick's STJFL Grand Final Day today. Under 15A2 girls, Glenorchy versus Lindisfarne. I'd like everyone to be invited to be upstanding and join with the players and officials and the umpires for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you, everyone. All the best to both teams for today's game.
Well, what a rousing rendition of our national anthem there. As the sun is out, the grass is just smelling a treat. The hay fever's going, so you know it is springtime, and it is Barwick's STJFL Grand Finals, and it's all happening here at League Headquarters, the spiritual home of football. I am coming to you from the Peter Sharp Tower. It's Andrew Silverfox Hopwood, and I'm joined by Tom Green. Tommy, what a magnificent occasion it is for the Barwick's STJFL season, culminating in the grand final day here today.
Really, really excited about this one, Hoppy. This is fantastic, mate. It's spring footy, it's September, and that means one thing, as you mentioned, it's finals footy. And I'll tell you what, there's just something about the national anthem, isn't there, that just sends tingles down your spine, whatever age group, whatever competition it is. And that was fantastic as the captains are out there in the middle for the all-important coin toss. I think it's Glenorchy that might have won it, and I think they're going to kick to the left of screen. Yes,
they certainly are. Of course, you and I were talking last night as we had our Duff TV get-together and did the study of the form. And Glenorchy, of course, have had 13 wins and 2 losses up against Lindisfarne, 9 and 6. We were at that game over at Anzac Park. Lindisfarne stayed in it, Tom, didn't they? But they just couldn't stay with Glenorchy. It was a bit of an arm wrestle. Do you think that Lindisfarne, what would be the coach's instructions? Do you think he would just say to them, now girls, let's just stay in this game, stay in this game, stay in this game, and apply the pressure to Glenorchy?
I think the message is probably going to be something along the lines of this first sort of 5 or 10 minutes. It's a grand final, obviously, so the pressure needs to be enormous. There's a massive emphasis, I guess, on defence in grand final footy, I think, and finals football. So I think that first 5 or 10 minutes for Lindisfarne is going to be really, really crucial. They can't let Glenorchy get away to a strong start. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here early in this first quarter, I think, mate.
Yes, one of the things in grand finals, you can play some funny things with the mind. It's very exciting to be here, and you don't want to play your game prior to getting to the ground. They can say it's just an ordinary game. Well, the reality is it isn't, but you just have to do the normal things better, and some of the great coaches say that it's not about the spectacular, it's about getting low to the ground and staying on your feet, and just doing the things that got you here, and trust in the process that got you to the grand final. As the umpires just looking around, lovely crowd building as well, Tom.
Huge crowd, mate. I think we've got 3 games today, and it's a beautiful day for footy, as we've said. So I think they're going to just keep coming through the turnstiles as the umpire holds the ball aloft. There's the siren, and we're ready to go, Hoppy.
So it is umpire Monks who throws that one up. That's a big, strong tap out there. Well won. It was Anning, of course, the vice-captain, the strong-bodied girl there, but it comes out towards Triffett. Triffett, the vice-captain for Glenorchy, gets that entry into that forward 50. It's a tough ball early. You can see body on body, and that's what the coaches would love about this, trying to get their hands on the onion. They go wide, spreads towards that outer side. Big, strong contest, going very, very close to that boundary line. Quick handballs, very fumbly in the early stages. Always the case, Tom, isn't it? That's a little bit of nerves probably coming around in those early stages of a grand final.
Absolutely, mate. It's just really, really hard to get clean possession at this sort of stage, isn't it? So we've seen the ball trickle out of bounds. They're going to have a throw in. It's deep in the forward pocket now for Glenorchy, so they're going to have that first sort of real look now to hope to see if they can capitalise on some early forward pressure. Let's see what Lindisfarne have got here. And it's a ball in. Rucks go at it again. A nice tap down there by Lynch for Glenorchy. Ball trickles out towards the half-forward line there for Glenorchy. Players sort of just diving on the footy. Can't really extract it. Working in close quarters, aren't they, there to try and get a clean possession. Picked up there nicely by Noel. Couldn't quite get it away, and that kick out towards the half-back flank now. First on the ball is Glenorchy. A nice kick, although it's sort of gone sideways, almost backwards there, and a big play here in the middle of the ground. Now it's Glenorchy picking the footy up. Can't quite get clean possession again. Just trying to get the ball moving forward. That was a nice play. Here's a real look. It's bouncing towards goal. I think it's just offline. We might have our first score of the match.
Yeah, it certainly was, Tom. So that was Sarah Precia, and as you just alluded to, the first time that Glenorchy were able to get a bit of time and space in their forward line, that's going to be crucial within grand finals, as Lindisfarne spread that ball wide, and it was a very nice kick, but unfortunately that particular time it was Schofield who spilt the mark, but she was good enough to recover, ably assisted by Gaffney, another one of the deputies there. She tries to barge her way through it. Beautiful bullocking work there by Rhodes, and that's what the skipper does, Tom. She did that, as you recall, the last time we played, and she's a ripper down back.
Absolutely. We're 2 minutes into this quarter, and Rhodes has been prominent early for Lindisfarne, just repelling a few urges from Glenorchy, and now all of a sudden it's in their forward half, and let's see what they can do if they can get clean possession. It's a little bit hard at the moment just to decipher what's really happening there, as there's a lot of players in this contest. Quick kick out of the pack there from Free. It's going to roll towards the boundary line. It's over and out.
You can see, Tom, that how crucial it is to be clean below your knees.
Absolutely.
So it is now. Glenorchy takes the advantage of no one on the mark. Goes down to front of the adoring crowd there, just with full sun on their face. And won't they be enjoying this as Glenorchy do pick it up. That's fantastic. They are very wide, and a strong mark taken by Hanlow. She looks to come back inside. She does very, very nicely. And there's one of the real danger players. That's King. King is a goal kicker. We saw that when they played last time. Yep. She kicked 3 as she's dispossessed that particular time. She only knows one way, and that straight ahead is King, and she's still over the ball. She'll look to bring someone into it. Glenorchy snapped that one on goal. Bit of pressure being applied in the questions, and the question has been answered by the defence of Lindisfarne, who boot that one out wide. It is coming towards the big crowd that has building. Ball now in dispute. That was well played there by Noel. Comes out towards the 2 Blues, and they're going towards their 50 for the first time. But Glenorchy have the spare, running back. Just to overrun that one on that particular occasion was Holbrook Dobson. The hyphen picks it up, goes back towards that forward line. It is on the wing. It is a hot ball out there, Tom.
It's just very, very hard to get clear possession.
Isn't it?
That's a mark taken. She might have played on. Umpire says she can take her kick now, so I think this is an opportunity now for Glenorchy to head towards half forward. That kick's nice. She's found one, hasn't she? Absolutely beautiful kick. Wants Lynch. Lynch turns onto that trusty right boot, puts it into a dangerous spot, but playing in front, and that's what you got to sort of do in these sort of games, and that's Tennant there for Lindisfarne. So what can she do? Short option. It's a dangerous kick. You don't want to be turning the ball over in this area of the ground, but perhaps numbers just with Lindisfarne here if they can get clean possession. I think they do out the back too, and a little bit of space. Hits up a target there at half forward, but I think it might have been touched off the boot. Still a scrubby little kick there towards centre half forward. Here's a real look for Lindisfarne. It's over the back. It's a bouncing ball. It's rolling towards goal. What's going to happen here? It's 2-on-1 in favour of Glenorchy. I think they might prevail. A nice handball out wide there, and I think they might be able to repel. Hang on a minute here. Lindisfarne working hard in close quarters. A good handball over the top. Kick towards goal, marked by Glenorchy on the last line of defence there.
Gee whiz, Tom, that was frenetic pace, and all of a sudden Glenorchy, against the odds, were able to stand tall, and that's going to be very, very crucial, especially in the young ladies' footy of this division. Sometimes they're not the highest scoring game, so if you can stop the ball that deep in your defence, you've done very nicely as Glenorchy now bring it up. It is Lindisfarne play in front, and I have to say I very much like the work of Tennant so far across half back. She runs very, very straight. It's tight, in and tackle. And umpire Monks, as you can hear, has come in to bounce that ball.
Yeah, it's a real luxury we've got, hasn't it? Having Darren Monks mic'd up out there, so we can really, really get a good insight to what's happening. As I think Hall kicking in danger is found one. I think it might be going the way of Lindisfarne there. So what can they do here? It's a kick straight down the middle of the ground, isn't it? Towards half forward. Off hands, picked up there from Glenorchy. Hard once again to get clean possession there in that contest. They might have another ball up here. No, it's somehow extracted and playing in front. Great effort there. Couldn't quite complete the mark. And running away with it is Triffett there, the vice-captain for Glenorchy. Ooh, that's a fantastic kick. It clears the pack, doesn't it? In a bit of space now. They've run onto it. Kick towards half forward. Chance here for the Magpies if they can get clean possession. Just really struggling there, maybe to pick up the footy. Here we go, Glenorchy. They've got one out the back here if they can get the footy here. Out there towards goal because they've got a 2-on-1 in the goal square. And here they do. They get the handball out the back. We're having a look. I think it's gone out of play now and they're going to have a throw in, or it might be out on the full.
Gee, it's interesting actually to observe this at the moment, Tom, the differences in the forward lines. I think Glenorchy, as we just check our computer, and it does say that it's been in their forward line for 64% of the game. But it's been a little bit muddled and confused in that entry where Lindisfarne have actually looked quite dangerous because it's gone in there almost on the turnover, and it's looked very open, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
So it is now back to that forward line, and again, Lindisfarne prevail through the agency of Anning, who just bludgeons that ball down through the centre of the ground. And that's going to be the interesting thing, is the transfer of ball from defence into offence, and which team can take the blinkers off and look for the switch instead of just going down the line, and that predictability as Glenorchy arching the back and coming out towards the 50. They do have numbers if they decide the shepherd. Strong play there by Tennant for Lindisfarne under extreme pressure from Preshaw as Lindisfarne picked that one up. A little bit of a dodgy old handball, comes back towards Anning. Anning with a nice, long, strong kick. And here is that open forward line that I just alluded to before as it goes towards the 50 line. Bit of pace is needed as they bend down. The spare is on it round at the back as they get that outer limits, trying to create some space. But Glenorchy, a lot of questions have been asked of the defence there, Tom, and so far they've got the answers.
Absolutely, yeah, fantastic. It was good transition again from Lindisfarne, though. They do look dangerous going forward, but Glenorchy was strong enough there to be able to get the ball out. And here's another chance for Lindisfarne. It goes towards half forward. Tracking the ball now is Glenorchy. Going to be first there to pick it up. Ooh. Just releases the handball. Umpire said nothing doing. No, there's incorrect disposal, so it's going to be a free kick going the way there of Knowles. Scrubby little kick in towards half forward, but the numbers are with Lindisfarne. Let's see what they can make out of this play. Nice little pick up there from Butler. Drives it inside 50, playing in front once again there. Is the Lindisfarne full forward, tracking it back towards the goal mouth. Oh, just pushes herself off the... This is a chance for the first goal. A quick snap, and I think it's through.
Just touched there, Tom. That was very exciting, but didn't love the body work there.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, they're very dangerous, and as we can see, as Hunt came out towards the ball, as we've seen a couple of times through she just decided to protect that zone, and unfortunately for her, it was just touched. So it is, as we check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, it is Glenorchy 1 behind to Lindisfarne 1 behind, as that ball has been kicked out. So, of course, just if you are quizzing, wondering why that's going to be a free kick here to Glenorchy. So, between the arcs, of course, Tom, in footy, in the girls' footy, it is a free kick to the opposition. If it's a disputed one or comes off the hands, it's a throw in. But clearly, that's the way it goes. So, Glenorchy now, through the pace of Noel, comes back towards the centre half forward. They were very brave to use the corridor. Now it is McCarthy goes looking for their full forward in King, who can't bring that one in. She's been well held at the moment, but Glenorchy, through weight of numbers, have a quick snap towards the goal and just through for the minor score. So very different, isn't it, Tom, in the way they go forward. Glenorchy look to get mass numbers around the ball, whereas Lindisfarne like to have time and space.
They do. I've been really, really impressed with Zoe Rhodes and Abby Anning down back for Lindisfarne early. I think they've repelled a lot of forward 50 entries from the Magpies, and they're doing a fantastic job at the moment. It is very congested in that Magpies forward line, isn't it? Quick kick there. That's not going to be 15, so she's going to have to release that ball quickly, and does. I think they've picked out a free kick, I reckon. Oh, it's going to Glenorchy, so here's a chance. Within range, do we think, Hoppy? 25-30 out from goal directly in front?
I reckon this one will be on the limit. That's a nice long kick, but it goes out. And I reckon it's a good learning experience. That's the beauty of the coverage from Duff TV, Tom, that these young ladies will be able to look back at these and think to myself, was that the right kick or not? And so those learning experience might be that let's just put that to 15 metres out to that danger area. Yeah. So if you can't get the goal, I reckon that's the place to go. But these young ladies are learning. Talking of learning, they plucked that one out of the ruck and just put it through for the minor score. In fact, it has shaved the post. And Glenorchy doing the attacking, as the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard tells us. But it hasn't been any majors. 3 behinds to Glenorchy to 1 point to Lindisfarne at the moment. And Lindisfarne are being pretty direct as they come through the centre of the North Hobart Oval and being held without the ball. And a free kick going to Butler. Butler looks down the line to a lead. Pack is formed. Nicely knocked on there by Cooper. Cooper is beaten to the ball this time by Glenorchy. Glenorchy doing a nice job as it gets out towards that wing position. You can see there a nice end-on-end kick. It's a real contested footy, Tom, isn't it? It's kick to contest, kick to contest. So the the team that can be stronger over the ball is likely to come away with the victory.
I've liked this. This is a switch. It's a dangerous kick, and unfortunately it hasn't worked out because a nice burst of speed there from the Magpies sees them drive it inside 50 and finding a little bit of space. There was Castle. Couldn't quite gather the footy, but they're in with a real chance. And once again, a sheer weight of numbers stacks on the mill. It does fall out, though. A quick handball over the back of the pack. Chance for a quick kick towards goal if she can get it on the boot. Can't quite do so. Still in possession, though, isn't she? Down in the deep forward pocket for Glenorchy there. And I think it's still Castle. Anning again with a quick kick towards half-back now for Lindisfarne. First to the footy, though, was Noel. Kick to a dangerous area, isn't it? And they're running onto the footy. Here's a chance if they can... Oh, hacked off the ground, and I think it might have gone through. There's our first major of the morning. Fantastic finish. Glenorchy have the first goal. 1-3-9. They lead Lindisfarne one behind on the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard. We'll have a bit of a look at that one on the replay.
Yeah, we see here, Tom, on the mood feed replay, it was Bristow who got herself into very, very good position. But what about the attack on the onion there from McCarthy? And Bristow just had her wits about it, didn't she, Tom? She didn't actually take possession. She, you know, in a grand final, Tommy, that there's going to be people around you, and she had the smarts just to kick that one off the ground and put it through for a goal.
It's great forward craft, Toppy, isn't it? It's just opportunistic, and it was well deserved and good reward for effort, I think, for Glenorchy. So they get the first major, and we're back in the middle. And Lindisfarne with that sort of clearance towards half forward. Once again, just struggling to try and get clean possession. Does come out the back now towards Lindisfarne. I think that might be Butler again. She's been busy. She's starting to get into the game a little bit through the middle of the ground. Ball up again. Nice tap there from the Glenorchy ruckman. Little quick kick sort of towards half forward for Glenorchy. Coming out, a great contest there. Gee, she's making a presence felt, Castle, at the moment as well. Good contest there. In the shadows of quarter time now, aren't we, Hoppy? So just if they can get a goal here, Lindisfarne, just to try and square things up, it'll be massive. I'll tell you what, they don't want one going the other way, though. And here's Glenorchy through. Triffett, the vice-captain, with a kick towards centre wing. And it's Lindisfarne leading back in the race there, and I think that might be free. Tackled. Gets the kick away, though, and a numbers with Lindisfarne here. If they can turn around, wheel and go and get it on the boot. Doesn't get much on that. I think that might be King leading the race for the footy. A handball out from Lindisfarne. Need the quick kick. We've only got about 10 seconds left now in this first quarter, so it's going to be tough, we think, now with the ball in the middle of the ground for any major scores, I would have thought. Free kick picked out going the way of Glenorchy, and that might just do us, I reckon.
Yeah, so, Tom, there is the siren for the first quarter in the Barwick's STJFL Grand Final in the under-15 A2 division here at the home of footy at North Hobart. Just to confirm the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, it is Glenorchy 1-3-9 to Lindisfarne, one behind. The goal scorer was Holly Bristow, who we just alluded to with some smart craft. But I put it to you, Tom, when's the last time you found two players with spectacles on in the one team?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's one to think about it. I'll have to get back to you there.
Yes, but I tell you what, both of them are providing a thorn in the time.
Absolutely.
Molly Castle and Aria King are really been good all year for Glenorchy. King is the one to watch. She's the girl who traditionally does score those goals. But as you alluded to, Molly Castle, she just runs in straight lines and she clears the pack, doesn't she?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So the stage is set for sure, Hoppy. I think we've room for a good contest here.
Certainly is. So there it is. Glenorchy 1-3-9, Lindisfarne one behind. We hope that you are enjoying the coverage here on Duff TV. We're going to take our first break for the day, and we look forward to bringing the second quarter in just a few moments.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr. Hobart and your Hobart chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Best Bakehouse, love that homemade taste. Brighton's Best Bakehouse, delicious in every way. Loving the taste, love it homemade, their own recipes, freshly baked. Brighton's Best Bakehouse, love that homemade taste.
So welcome back to North Hobart Oval, and we've got a very, very close game. And as we had thought, Glenorchy didn't finish top for any reason that the way they are playing. Of course, we said before the game they were 13-2 and a very, very steady start from the mighty Magpies, as there is another ball up. It was nicely won by Lynch in the ruck, who's been doing a very, very nice job. Ball in dispute. Anning again doing a lot of the bullocking there for Lindisfarne. She's ably assisted by Cooper, who is always down on her knees trying to knock it out. On the wing position now, Butler. Butler always looks, it could have been in the side, was deemed by the umpire. There's a nice handball. Not a lot of time and space out there. It's very close in footy. If the girls can just get that outer layer going across the football, it'll certainly open it up. But here is some nice pace shown by Glenorchy as they kick that ball directly over the centre of the ground. Goes towards all but the centre half forward. Brilliant pick up there by Preshaw. That was really good skills. And now King seems to have some space. She looks towards to go for the ball, but brilliantly intercepted there by the Lindisfarne defender. Strong work. And Gaffney was held up. Gee, Tom, that was great play by Gaffney. She's somewhat diminutive in the size, but she's as hard as a cat's head. It
was a great effort considering it was 3-on-1 as well in the forward line. Glenorchy had 3-1 to the one defender, so that was a fantastic effort from Gaffney, I think, to be able to at least create a stoppage and a draw there. So fantastic effort there as they're trying to get clear possession here. Once again, gee, she's been strong, hasn't she, Zoe Rhodes, the captain. Here's a chance now for Triffett. Can't quite pick up the footy. She's still tracking it though. She's got a lot of company there in the Lindisfarne jumpers. Trying to get clean possession there with Schofield. A quick handball out and she might get a free kick too. I reckon the messages would have been interesting at quarter time from the coaches, considering what we mentioned. I think they had a lot of the possession and a lot of ball in their forward line, Glenorchy, in the first quarter. It was very stagnant. There was a lot of congestion there, so they're probably going to want to try and open that forward line up a little bit more. And in the contrast, I think it was quite open Lindisfarne when they had their opportunities, and they want to try and capitalise when they're going forward as well.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I went down and had a little listen to Coach Jared Free for Lindisfarne, and he said, look, I thought we looked really dangerous, Tom, and he liked the way that when the ball came in, there was plenty of space, and he said, keep the forward line open, let's hit them on the attack, but they've got a crowded forward line. Let's see if we can just keep it open, was his message. So now it is Glenorchy, just through weight of numbers, bullocking their way forward. The dangerous player for me is Jamie Lee Triffett. She's got good pace about her here. She picks that ball up. Oh, cleverly goes on the wrong side of her body. Glenorchy, they can raffle this one and they turn in towards the goal, go onto the left boot and just put that one through for the minor score. Had numbers there, Tom. Maybe as we see here on the Mood Food replay, it was King, the noted goal kicker. Just maybe the block there. She was bleeding for the ball.
She's a nice sidestep too, wasn't it, Hoppy? I'll tell you what. I'm a little bit concerned at the moment for Lindisfarne here. Just a sheer weight of numbers, a couple of these contests up forward for Glenorchy at the moment. That's a dangerous kick there just to the middle of the ground. You really don't want to be turning the footy over there. They're going to drive it deep inside 50. Just worked under the ball a little bit. Nice body work there from Jones. Picked up though from Glenorchy. I think that might have been King. Incorrect disposal, was it? It is. It's a free kick. It's going to go the way of Lindisfarne. Let's see if they can just relieve a little bit of pressure here, get the ball moving forward and out of this danger zone.
Well, we can see over there, Tom, there is the under 17.5 Bomber team coming in. Of course, they have had a cracker of a season, undefeated, and they'll go round in the next game in the under 17.5 women. But as you alluded to before, it's almost Lindisfarne have got their fingers in the dike, haven't they? And they're just trying to stop the water getting out of the bucket. And you sort of sense that if Glenorchy can get a goal here, it'll really open up the game. But Lindisfarne just really doing a great job to hang in there, and
they are.
No one more than their skipper Zoe Rhodes. She's a ripper, isn't she?
She's been fantastic. I think the thing at the moment is just the scoreboard pressure. They're not really mounting on the scoreboard at the moment, Glenorchy, but that's obviously it's in the right sort of part of the ground for them. So if they can capitalise here, it's going to be a dagger in the hearts of Lindisfarne, I think, as that kick sort of heads towards goal. A quick snap there, and I think they like it, don't they? That's King.
Didn't make the distance,
but
Tommy.
A quick snap, though.
Oh, yes.
I think that might have been Jones. Very opportunistic again, wasn't it? And that's the second goal, and that's reward for effort again for Glenorchy. I think they've spent sort of 90% of this quarter in that forward 50, and they deserve that goal. They finally got it. The quick kick there from King towards goal, and we look at the replay. Here it was now. It looked like it might have been going through, but it just didn't quite get the journey. But on the goal line there, and they could have raffled that.
Gee whiz, I reckon though, Tom, she gets the assist with that short pass.
Absolutely.
So she just topped it over to someone in a better position. But again, Lindisfarne, the two Blues, they've just got to be a tad tighter because they know that it is almost like a tsunami of magpies just coming in. They run in numbers, and once they get their confidence up, they're going to be very hard to stop, as we've just check on the Brighton's best bakehouse scoreboard, and let's have a quick look at that one. And it is Glenorchy. They are 2-4-16 to Lindisfarne, the one behind.
Yeah, you alluded to Triffett before, Hoppy, as well. She's getting really busy at the moment. Really busy. And it's falling out the back. Here we go. Here's another chance for Jones, I think. A soccer off the ground towards goal. It's gone across the face, though, hasn't it? Heading towards the boundary line. It goes out of play. We'll have a throw in, I reckon.
Gee whiz there. She looks like she was almost playing for my beloved West Ham United at London Stadium. She just sunk the left slipper. She had a bit of time, but that's where the most important muscle in the body comes into it here, your tongue. You've got to talk and communicate, especially in the big games, Tom.
Absolutely. So they're creating a lot of chances, though, at the moment, Glenorchy. And I think in the ruck as well, they're really starting to get some dominance there. I think Lynch has been really big this quarter too. And they found a free kick. It is going the way of the Magpies. And that might be King. Is that King? It is. So I tell you what, we've got a beautiful view of this one, Hobby. We're right behind this. So
oh, yes. Isn't this the best view in the house? Absolutely. Up here in the Peter Sharp Tower as King comes in? Just leant back on that one and through for the minor score. She looks slightly disappointed because she is a renowned goal kicker in the under 15A2 division. Well, I'm sure to all our very dear friends out in Magpie Land, they'll be watching this with great interest because it hasn't been a great season for the club at a senior level, but these young ladies are really showing some spirit, and they can see the light at the end of the tunnel as they're really fighting hard. There is King, working her way to the front of the pack. She always somehow comes out with it. But what about the tenacity there from Gaffney? As I say, she's old. There's the great Jezza Jones. Look at the hard-working board member. He works normally about 20 hours a day in his vocation, and the 4 hours he has off, he's here at the STJ. He's a ripper.
It's dedication.
Oh, he's dedication. No doubt about that. So the ball up there by Monks. Good tap out by the Magpies. Look at them, they're all over here as they have another shot on goal.
That was Triffett again there, I think, so...
Some changes need to be made,
yeah.
Tom. What can you see? How do they get back in the game, Lindisfarne?
I think it's around the source at the moment, isn't
Yep.
it? And I just think in these contests, they're just losing those sort of 50-50 battles at the moment, aren't they? And unfortunately, it's at the wrong end of the ground for them at the moment. They just can't work that footy from one end hit to the other, so... That's a nice day. Here's a chance for them. Here's a chance. I think they need to spread, maybe a little bit quicker to react. They've got it. They've got someone in the middle if they want, and 50 metres. Geez, that's going to help.
Gee, you heard umpire Monks there, didn't you, Tommy, saying stand, stand, and the Glenorchy players we see here on the Mood Food replay, it was actually Preshaw who ran forward. She had plenty of time to listen to that. What do you think of the 50, Tom?
The stand rule or the 50 metre?
Well, both.
Yeah. It's a hard one to get your head around. I do think it opens up the play a little bit, doesn't it? But
gee, this is good play though. Sorry, back to that.
Criticism. Yeah, this was brilliant. That was brilliant, and they need this. So, I mean, she's gonna have to kick from 50 metres out, and she kicks it to a really dangerous spot. What can they do here? It's off hands. Chance though for the Crummers. What can they do here? It's Burden. A little quick kick out of the pack there. Falls the way of free. Quick handball towards Bingham. Picked up by Glenorchy. Oh, just a little bit too easy there to evade that tackle, I think, and now they alleviate a little bit of that pressure. And once again, it's 2-on-1 in favour of Glenorchy as the cavalry arrive, though, for Lindisfarne to try and lend some support. Probably didn't quite dispose of that one correctly. It's Glenorchy with a quick handball. Bit of a fumble. She's going to go again here. Dangerous kick across goal, but the numbers are with Glenorchy. They pick it up, and she's got a bit of time. And there was a bit of talk there as well. Maybe a Shepherd kicking in the middle of the ground. Lindisfarne first to track that one there. And this is Tennant. Tackled. Goes back and gets it again. That's a great effort from Tennant. Driving ball inside 50. Lindisfarne off hands. That picked up now from Glenorchy, and I think that might have been Noel.
Gee whiz, Tom, she showed great urgency over the onion. Then I like it when people get the ball and they just that first 5 minutes, as we can see there, exactly the same thing done by Jones, who goes out towards that outer side. There is the leading forward in Hanlow. Couldn't quite bring that one in, just comes off the barrel chest, but goes back in to get it again. I just love the way Gaffney plays for Lindisfarne. She's always looking to bring someone of her teammates into it with a block and a Shepherd. I'll play alongside her any day of the week. That's a strong tackle. That's what they need as the two Blues. They just need some inspiration as they go inside the 50. There's no one there, so Glenorchy have the numbers, but Lindisfarne, they arrive on here. They get the clean hands as they try and get the shot on goal as Morrisby is dispossessed. They're going back in to get it again. Ball in dispute, and again, good defensive work, just soccering that one off the ground and getting some valuable meterage. And it mightn't be so pretty, Tom, but occasionally it gets to grand final, you just got to gain metre after metre.
And I'll tell you who that was again. That was Triffett, the vice-captain. Yep. So I think they might have just thrown her behind the ball a little bit. So she's been very, very influential. As once again, it's Glenorchy looking to repel off half-back. Big contest out here on the outer side between these two girls fighting for it's Bingham there, I think, and she's done fantastically well to get that kick inside the 50. It's going to roll towards the boundary line. It does stay in play. Bit of pressure there provided from Lindisfarne, and that kick, that's into a dangerous area. Numbers with Lindisfarne. Just the bounce they need, isn't it? There's Triffett again on hands and knees trying to pick the ball up. I reckon she didn't have footy there, and she's going to get a free kick.
Gee whiz. They did have the numbers there, Tom. I always say that as an old coach, it's just that urgency around the football when it's in your vicinity. It's your time to either step up or step down, and they're the moments within games that it's crucial. But that is a lovely mark again, taken by Hunt. She's taken a few, and she's probably within distance here, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was a beautiful kick in from Butler as well. Once again to that dangerous spot. They've had a really good 3 or 4 minutes here, Lindisfarne. They deserve a goal. It looks good off the boot. She likes it. She celebrates. There it is. Lindisfarne have their first major now, Hoppy. As we look to the Brighton Best Bakehouse scoreboard now, it's Glenorchy 18, and they lead Lindisfarne 1-1-7 now. So there you go. Reward for effort. They've had a good few minutes, and they get their first goal.
Well, the thing that about this game, Tom, is that when Lindisfarne do go forward, it is open, and they've got a couple of girls who can actually clunk them, and so they do look like they can score quickly.
Absolutely. So.
Although the ball has been more than not within the Glenorchy forward arc, Lindisfarne, if they can get that ball down there and get a couple of marks, who knows? So what's happened here? Umpire Monks is just making sure that we've got the 5-6-5. Of course, there's 16 on the ground in female football. That goes right the way through from juniors to AFLW as Glenorchy stream out of that.
Wasn't it?
It was beautiful play. Just a wobbly old kick that came in, and Lindisfarne are able to mop that one up, but they are winning the ball around the contest, Tom, which is a bit of a concern for Lindisfarne.
It is, and I'll tell you what's happening with Madeline Lynch in the ruck as they play it on here. I think that's King. She's going to have a shot towards goal. I think it's drifting across the face. It's one behind, but Lynch is obviously winning a lot of the hit-outs, but she's also doing some work on ground level as well.
Yep.
We just see, I think she drove that ball inside 50. She's having a fantastic quarter.
Yeah, she almost plays like the ruck rover, taps it down, and as we can see there, 8 inside 50s to 6. So it's evening up. It was very dominant to Glenorchy, but they haven't been as efficient as they probably would have liked, but they've got the scoreboard pressure. So Lindisfarne now going straight down, and this is where they can take those marks if they can be in front. It is Knowles, who is one of those girls who took a strong mark. Just tries to push the ball over to some space. This is the ball now. They need to be brave as far as I'm concerned, Tom. They need to get it and just kick it out wide. Look for some space here instead of just being predictable, because as we can see here, the girls have been drawn into the contest, taking it on and being caught. And it's very, very strong tackle. As we said before, Jamie Lee Triffett has been so good for the Magpies, Tom.
Absolutely. I didn't mind the dare as well from Lindisfarne.
Oh, yes, take it on.
Yeah, absolutely. So 45 seconds left in the first half now, and I reckon Glenorchy would be happy just to try and maintain a little bit of possession here and get to half-time. They'll take that 2-goal lead if they can get it. Out on the outer side, now on the wing, and a burst of speed. Gets through the tackle, heads towards centre-half forward. Lindisfarne playing in front. Big contest to win here, ground level, ball up.
Again, it was Gaffney who stood tall, as well as the captain, Rhodes. They've been very, very good. Ball up now. It is in the Glenorchy 50, but Lindisfarne come out now. That's exactly where they want the ball with only seconds left, but it is Jamie Lee Triffett, the speedster, picks it up. She goes directly towards the goal. Time might be against it, and thankfully, if you are a Two Blue supporter, the Cavalry get back, and that was Burles who picked that one up. So the halftime scores says Glenorchy 2-7-19 to Lindisfarne 1-1-7. That course is brought to us by Brighton's Best Bakehouse. The goal scorers for Glenorchy, it is Brooklyn Jones and Holly Bristow, and for Lindisfarne it was Zoe Hunt, and she had a good set of dukes, but a much better quarter there, Tom, by the Two Blues.
Absolutely. 9 scoring shots to 2 just says something. I think Glenorchy just haven't put them away yet, but I think that quarter might have been one of 2 halves. I think Glenorchy, for the first sort of 5 or 10 minutes, were really, really dominant, had their chances, but then to Lindisfarne's credit, they worked their way back into that quarter, and they got a goal. Just deserves, I think, for fighting back into that contest. So I think we've got a really, really good match here for the second half. I'm looking forward to it.
I agree. So as we do go to our half-time break, we would like to acknowledge and thank the STJFL partners, of course, Barwick's the naming rights, Mark's Landscape Supplies, We thank them very much. IGA, where the locals matter. Over 88 stores around Tasmania. Your Hobart Health, 71 Bathurst Street. They have a doctor there on call till 10 o'clock every day of the week. They've got the chemist, the cafe. It's a fantastic spot.
Keep that in mind.
I know, Tommy, you don't need to sit around those drafty old corridors of the Royal Hobart Hospital anymore. Go and see Dr. Mark Baldock and they'll fix you up on your way there. If you need some fuel, of course, go in and see Bennett's Petroleum and have a snack at Mood Food. Brighton's best bakehouse bakery and, of course, the media partner, Duff TV. So it is half-time here in the under-15A2 division. Glenorchy 2-7-19, Lindisfarne 1-1-7. We'll be back with all the action very shortly.
Nice little pick up there from Butler. Drive. Nice little pick up there from Butler. Drives it inside 50, playing in front once again there. Is the Lindisfarne full forward, tracking it back towards the goal mouth. Oh, just pushes herself off the... This is a chance for the first goal. A quick snap, and I think it's through.
Just touched there, Tom. That was very exciting, but didn't I love the body work there?
That was fantastic. Towards half-back now for Lindisfarne. First to the footy, though, was Noel. Kick to a dangerous area, isn't it? And they're running onto the footy. Here's a chance if they can... Oh, hacked off the ground, and I think it might have gone through. There's our first major of the morning. Fantastic finish. Glenorchy have the first goal. 1-3-9. They lead Lindisfarne one behind on the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard. We'll have a bit of a look at that one on the replay.
Yeah, we see here, Tom, on the Mood Food replay, it was Bristow who got herself into very, very good position. But what about the attack on the onion there from McCarthy? And Bristow just had her wits about it, didn't she, Tom? She didn't actually take possession. You know in a grand final, Tommy, that there's going to be people around you, and she had the smarts just to kick that one off the ground and put it through for a goal.
It's great forward craft, Toppy, isn't it? It's just opportunistic, and it's in the right sort of part of the ground for them. So if they can capitalise here, it's going to be a dagger in the hearts of Lindisfarne, I think, as that kick sort of heads towards goal. A quick snap there, and I think they like it, don't they? That's King.
Didn't make the distance, Tommy.
But a quick snap, though.
Oh, yes.
I think that might have been Jones. Very, very opportunistic again, wasn't it? And that's the second goal, and that's reward for effort again for Glenorchy. I think they've spent sort of 90% of this quarter in that forward 50, and they deserve that goal. They finally got it. The quick kick there from King towards goal, and we look at the replay. Here it was now. Looked like it might have been going through, but it just didn't quite get the journey. But on the goal line there, and they could have raffled that.
Gee whiz, I reckon though, Tom, she gets the assist with that short pass.
Absolutely.
So she just topped it over to someone in a better position. But again, Lindisfarne, the two Blues, it's just that urgency around the football when it's in your vicinity. It's your time to either step up or step down, and they're the moments within games that it's crucial. But that is a lovely mark again, taken by Hunt. She's taken a few, and she's probably within distance here, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a beautiful kick in from Butler as well. Once again to that dangerous spot. They've had a really good 3 or 4 minutes here, Lindisfarne. They deserve a goal. It looks good off the boot. She likes it. She celebrates. There it is. Lindisfarne have their first major now, Hoppy. As we look to the Brighton Best Bakehouse scoreboard now, it's Glenorchy 18, and they lead Lindisfarne 1-1-7 now. So there you go. Reward for effort.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr. Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr. Hobart and your Hobart chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's Best Bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's Best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So welcome back here to North Hobart Oval. I just went out there and I had to apply a bit of sunscreen, Tom. It is just beaming down the sun here at the home of footy.
It's gorgeous conditions at the moment. What I noticed at half time, Hobby, is the crowd is just really building, isn't it?
Oh, it's such a great occasion. I remember so vividly being here as coach with my son Max in 2007, 8 and 9. And I think I recall that you were a young man then and you were strutting your stuff for Sandy Bay, as I recall.
I think I might have been out there at some stage. I remember Maxie leading out a full forward. He was very, very hard to contain, mate. Yeah, very
no, they're great occasions though, aren't they?
Absolutely.
But we hope everyone is enjoying the coverage. If you can't be here, you're getting all the flavour as Lindisfarne go forward. And Tom, this is the young lady, Zoe Hunt, that we said before was looking very, very dangerous. And it's quite a rarity for a young lady to be able to grasp the ball and mark it so cleanly as she does. And so she can provide a couple of contests, as Lindisfarne there just had an opportunity, but unfortunately couldn't bring it in if you are one of their supporters. But a good effort by Burden. Brought it to the ground as they go back out again. And look at the numbers here. If they can get their hands on the footy, they do through Anning. She goes the big pendulum arc, but she is spilled right in the last line of defence by Noel. But Lindisfarne are being irrepressible here in this second half as they get it close to their forward line now. Now it becomes a little bit scrambly, whereas prior to that it was nice and open, which Lindisfarne was so good at in that first half. And Glenorchy through weight of numbers, but gee, that was a great opportunity just there, Tommy, for Lindisfarne to score.
I don't know what Luke McCarthy said to him at half time, but they've come out all guns blazing here in Lindisfarne, and once again they're in possession and going to drive it inside 50. They just need a contest here, and they do.
Oh!
That's fantastic courage. What a mark. Almost could have been 50 metres as well. And I tell you what, she's bounced straight back up as well. That's great courage there from Cooper.
Gee whiz, have a look at in the slow-mo replay on the mood food. That reminded me of one of my old favourites for Carlton, Kenny Hunter. And he used to go back with without any fear at all, and she drives the ball forward. Excuse me, but it is Lindisfarne now. They are pressing. But one thing they do have to do, Tom, they just don't need time inside 50. They need scoreboard pressure.
Absolutely they do. Geez, I thought they might have been a bit unlucky not to get the 50 metres there. That was a bit late, that hit, I reckon. So
yeah,
could have been a certain goal.
Cooper did look up, didn't she, Tom? And unfortunately for her, she wasn't rewarded for it. But it is the two Blues now. Got the numbers back. The door is ajar, Tom.
This game's just turned on its head to start this third quarter. That's a fantastic start by Lindisfarne. A couple of really nice passages of play, and once again, effort, and it's a goal the difference now, and it's game on.
It certainly is, and we just apologise there to our viewers, Tom, in that we just had a bit of a break in transmission. We've had a few challenges just on a technical side, and we're working behind the scenes to bring you all the action, as now it is a very, very close game, and Glenorchy, for the first time in this game, are playing the blowtorch is being put on them as the two Blues are trying to fight their way out. It's King, who was from behind, puts the nice tackle, and umpire Monks will come up and throw the ball aloft. But we just checked the Brighton's best breakout. It's 2-7-19 Glenorchy, Lindisfarne 2-1-13. The girls are being urged to play on. It is Glenorchy at the foot of the play. It's a screw back in, and just what good teams do, they answer, Tom. And Glenorchy have done that with aplomb. So a very, very nice goal. I think it was Jones, was it?
I think it was Jones. That might be is that her second now?
It is the second,
She's having a good game up forward. Like we've mentioned before, very opportunistic. We'll have a look here on the Mood Food replay. Look at this. It's just sort of been tapped out in the pack. She's found herself in a little bit of space, picked it up and just wheels around on that left boot. Very, very nice finish, wasn't it?
Was terrific finish. So just what the Magpies needed, that steadier. But the game as well, Tom, has certainly opened up, hasn't it? The girls are now getting into this game. There's no doubt about that. Of course, we're playing the 4 15-minute quarters, and there's the skipper Rhodes. She's taken a very nice mark. She's had a tremendous season. She looks to go towards Anning. Anning standing very tall in the centre of the ground. Well picked up there by Hardy. Hardy for Glenorchy goes towards the centre half forward position. It's Lindisfarne. One of the things I like about this division, Tom, is unlike in the AFL, AFLW, where the athletes can run the length and breadth of the ground and stay with the ball. I like it when they get their head up and there's going to be a forward to kick to.
Absolutely there is, yeah. And there seems to be space in front of them, isn't there?
So now it's another free kick going to the two Blues. And it is to be taken by Burden. Burden, now you can see she's probably about the 45 out. She's got an option to go long. Lindisfarne come out and almost take that mark. They're looking very dangerous when they do go forward, as Free tried to pull that one in. It is in defence by Amy Smith, and it's just been seen over the boundary line. And that one is, umpires, what's she done here? I think she's got to be a throw in.
Should be a throw in. What I've noticed, Hoppy, in this quarter is Maya Free. I think she's been in front 3 times. Unfortunately, couldn't complete that mark, but she's getting to the front position, which is really, really important for a forward. Not sure what's happening here. It's ended up with a free kick to Lindisfarne.
We'll have to have a look at this one on the Mood Food replay in just a few moments, but let's just stay live for the kick at goal. As it's hit the post, has it? Or it's gone through.
I think they liked it. It's a goal. This will be interesting on the replay. I'm not really sure what happened there.
Gee whiz, she's a bit low-key on the goal. I tell you what, Tommy, if it's a grand final, I've just kicked the goal. I'll be letting every player know about it, as the ball has come off the boot, and I have no idea.
Was it deliberate, was it?
It was deliberate.
It is deliberate. It's been paid as deliberate. Okay, so there we go. And we can see there, I think then that the free kick, was it Zoe Hunt who might have got that one again. I tell you what, Tom, this is a very, very good goal, isn't it? The way she put that through.
It's a fantastic finish, and it's a great start to this third term. It's called the Premiership quarter for a reason, but both teams are really mounting their case at the moment, aren't they?
Well, they certainly are, as the ball goes back through the middle. And when the game's got a bit of pace and it's open like this will favour Lindisfarne as far as I can see, Tom. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think we've said it from the outset. The open forward line that they've got at the moment and it's really sort of starting to pay dividends, isn't it, for them? So if anyone's going to benefit from this, I think it is going to be the two Blues, as they play on now, driving ball towards full forward and once again playing in front. Couldn't quite get there. There's Free there at ground level trying to extract the footy. It's Lindisfarne in possession. A scrubby little kick, didn't get much onto that one. Nice tackle and just been dispossessed, pickpocketed even, holding the footy. Free kick going the way of the Magpies now.
Gee, that was a strong tackle. They needed to stand up, because, as I've said before, there are a lot of questions being asked of the Magpies. As we said, they are the favourites. They've had a very dominant season. The last time they met, that Lindisfarne stayed with them for, I reckon, about 2.5 quarters, and then they showed their dominance. But it's a role reversal now, in that Lindisfarne are starting to get a bit of a sniff, and you give someone a sniff and they are a chance, as there is the captain. She just goes straight through, goes to tackle again, but it comes out towards Glenorchy as they're running hard towards the ball. Now, nicely picked up, goes the handball as the ball forward, and then hand low back in towards the middle. Now a little bit of nerves creeping in, that unfortunately, as Castle, who normally is so assured in taking those marks, but here we go now, just sort of steadying the ship is Noel, and Glenorchy comes straight through the centre of the ground. That's the second bounce. Go to another one. Backing back in towards the true full forward position. King is playing from behind there, and they have got their tails at the moment, Tom, as Lindisfarne.
Absolutely, they do. That was too easy there from Noel, I think. She had 2 or 3 bounces. And ran inside 50. Here's a quick kick for goal. It's bouncing, it's gone through.
Oh dear, that was
Castle, I think, was it?
Yes, and it was Gaffney who had the tackle on but couldn't retard the kick, and she has put that one through. We have another look on the Mood Food replay here, Tom. It was Lindisfarne. That kick right there, Tom, needs to go with width.
Absolutely, it does.
The boundary line is your friend in those circumstances.
It was a nice pick up by McCarthy as well. And then they just had the numbers, didn't they, really? And a scrubby kick, the chaos ball, I guess, that Dwayne Russell might say there. And sometimes it can work, can't it? And it has on that occasion. And another goal to Glenorchy. Very free-flowing at the moment in this third term.
So it was Schwarz who got that goal. She did a really, really good job to just get that kick away. And there's been an infringement on the centre. Umpire Monks has picked that one up. So it is the 2 Blues to get this game going. But gee whiz, the game has certainly opened up with some free-flowing scoring. We've only played the 5 minutes, and it's been end-to-end stuff as Glenorchy picked that one up. There is Jamie Lee Triffett. She goes towards that boundary line. Intercepting, though, is Schofield, who comes through. She's got a nice mover from half-back. Gets that kick towards the half-forward flank. Got a few numbers now. They've got numbers at the back if they can get it out. And here it is, as I alluded to, but a good, strong tackle there by Glenorchy. Gee, that was well read there, Tom, wasn't it? We can see here on the Mood Food replay, just tracking the forward back and applying that very good tackle.
A great tackle, it was fantastic, and relieves a little bit of pressure now as well, too, I think, for Glenorchy. Let's see what happens here. See if they can find a target. Cross half back they are now, so 4 minutes left in this third quarter. It's a really, really important stage of the match, I think, Hoppy, now. As it's Jones. Gets onto that left boot. Finds in a bit of space. Might be Lynch if she can gather the footy. She can. She's got some numbers there. That ball's gone backwards. In fact, it's gone to Lindisfarne. And they've now found themselves in a 3-on-1 contest. And they're driving the ball forward. Playing in front again. Good effort there. Couldn't quite complete the mark. At ground level now. This is a big ball to win. It's Lindisfarne who seem to get a scrubby little kick. Doesn't really go very far. But they're tracking the ball nicely here, and they've got the ball 45 metres out from goal. In a bit of space now, the kick towards the teeth of goal. Big contest here. It's 1-on-1. It's Glenorchy who are going to be able to extract that ball out towards the boundary line. They want the boundary line, I reckon, because it's Free that's tracking it now. She gets a scrubby little kick inside the 50. Knowles is there, 3-on-1, 4-on-1 now. Look at all the numbers for Glenorchy. If they can just try and halve this contest, or coming in hard off the line as well was another Glenorchy player. That kicks to a dangerous spot here. Glenorchy there as well through Howe. Can't quite pick the ball up, but going again. Good second and third efforts there. Might have found a free kick too going the way of Glenorchy.
Gee whiz, they had some numbers there. Glenorchy got right behind the ball, Tom, on the full back line, which left plenty of Lindisfarne to drive that ball back into their forward line as Zoe Hunt comes out. So what have we got? We're all with just about 2.5 minutes left. There is the skipper. Rhodes drives that ball in, but just unfortunately need to lower the eyes and just take a little bit of time. There is plenty of that left to go. Sometimes you just don't want to panic and just get that quick kick. And if it is a quick kick, maybe look for some space as Knowles goes back. Here is Anning. Anning needs to bend down and pick it up. She's trying, but it goes towards the boundary line. The boundary line is the friend for Glenorchy. They don't want to give anything up as they kick it back. Opportunity for Lindisfarne. There is Nichols. It's the screw back over the body, but just misses that one. And now is the time, Tom, that you just don't need to tackle. You just need to keep a calm head, don't you?
Absolutely, especially for Glenorchy here. I think they've got 2 minutes left in this third term. They just want to try and maintain possession if they can. That might be a handy point, you know. It's 11 points the difference now, so that's a nice kick. Cleared the pack, found the target, and they're going quickly here, aren't they, Glenorchy? Nice mark, fantastic, low to the ground. It's a great effort there from McCarthy. She plays on, has a bounce, gets it. All of a sudden, they're inside 50 and looking really dangerous. Space out the back. It's Lindisfarne tracking the footy, and they get their first through. I think that might have been Gaffney, was it?
Yep. Yeah, Gaffney, she's the one who is just, she's never beaten. She really gives it a great contest as the ball goes towards the half-forward line for Lindisfarne. Here's where they need some clean hands, but it is frenetic pace now. They understand the importance of these possessions. Lindisfarne are surging, and a goal at three-quarter time will really give them some momentum if they can. So Glenorchy holding on and doing a wonderful job so far. Just can't get it out now. Lindisfarne do. And here is a big opportunity for them through Knowles. And they're running in towards goal. They even take the bounce. Only seconds to go. They kick towards the goal, and that's just what the game needed.
It's Maya Frey again.
Oh, my goodness me. That was a wonderful shot on goal, Tom.
Geez, the stage is set now. I think that'll probably be, with 30 seconds left in the third quarter, it might be hard for either team to mount one last opportunity to get a score. So we could have a fantastic final quarter here in this grand final.
Well, they haven't been here before, have Glenorchy. They've had great polish to sort of burn the opposition off. And so now we have got a very, very interesting grand final as the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard reads. Glenorchy 4-7-31 to Lindisfarne 4-2-26. With only seconds left, they need a mark. And there at the last line of defence is Gaffney again. And the siren goes just in the nick of time for the two Blues. And we have got a thriller, so don't go too far, ladies and gentlemen. It is Glenorchy 4-7-31, Lindisfarne 4-2-26. For the Magpies, it's Brooklyn Jones with 2, Bristow 1, and Schwarz with 1. And for Lindisfarne, Maya Free has 2 and Zoe Hunt has 2. Tom, this game has really opened up now.
It's a fantastic contest, and I'll tell you what, now three-quarter time as the coaches have that final address with their players. There's probably not too much the coaches can do now. I think it's in the hands of the players out there. And with a 5-point ball game, it's really, really anyone's contest at the moment. And I think that first 4 or 5 minutes of that last quarter is going to be pivotal. I worry a little bit for Lindisfarne at the moment that perhaps Glenorchy are just getting it out of that midfield a little bit too easy. Lynch is having a fantastic influence in the ruck. And then obviously Triffitt's in there as well. McCarthy's doing some wonderful things too. So they might just need to tighten up a couple of things in that midfield part of the ground in that last quarter, Lindisfarne. But the stage is set. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, the stage is set. It has been very different the way they go forward. Lindisfarne has been open, and if it comes like those last few seconds, Tom, they are very dangerous forward. Can their defence hang on? Well, don't go too far, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to come back with all the action of the last quarter in the under-15A2 division of the Barwick's STJFL game of the day. It's the under-15-2A girls grand final.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, after-hours Dr. Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr. Hobart and your Hobart chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's Best Bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's Best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So welcome back to what we are expecting to be an enthralling last quarter here in the Barwick STJFL Grand Final in the under-15A2 division. It is Lindisfarne 2 Blues versus the Glenorchy Magpies, and the Magpies take it out of the centre for that crucial first foray into their forward 50. Oh, they've got plenty of numbers as King tracks that ball back. She might go off the ground. Good defensive work there by Burles, but it is, it's gone through, just hit the post by King. That was close there, Tommy.
Yeah, this should be good to watch on the Mood Food replay, I reckon. And once again, out of the centre clearance. It's a real problem for Lindisfarne at the moment, I think. They need to start working that out.
They went the early crow. Got the big clap there. They thought it was going to go through, but it was a great snap-on goal by King. Absolutely. She knows where the goals are. She knows where the
sticks are. Absolutely, she does. Here they go.
So it is Glenorchy just starting very, very nicely, but the 2 Blues just need to settle down. It is Glenorchy through the agency of Triffett. Triffitt's very close to the line, goes on the wrong side of her body. It's gone out of bounds, but gee, I love to see kiddies do that, Tom. Just use both sides of the bodies, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's fantastic. She's been enormous today, Triffett. And I think in the last quarter, especially in a grand final, that's when you sort of look to those players, the captains, the leaders, to really stand up. So it'll be interesting to see for both sides who's that player going to be.
Well, the other thing about grand finals, Tom, you can be having an absolutely Barry Crocker of a game, but it is a moment. It is a smother. It is a handball, as a block that you can make a name for yourself. It is now Glenorchy.
It's got that feeling about it, this game, doesn't it? That it might be some player that might just be able to do that.
Here they go again, Tom, as Glenorchy go in, but the skipper has been just tremendous at centre-half back, Zoe Rhodes, all year. This particular time being penalised, and it is a Glenorchy free kick, as there's a bit of a bemused look upon the face of those players, but they come inside, and this is where they need to duke one up. But there is Gaffney, who spoils the ball, as she's done not only today, but she's done all year. All but been told to play on. Swooping on it is Schofield, and Lindisfarne are getting a bit of a wriggle on as it comes down towards the wing position. We do look afield, and it is very, very open as it's a push, and umpire Schofield said, and I don't mind that, Tom, the person playing the ball, as we see here on the Mood Food replay, the momentum certainly did go forward, and a free kick to Schofield for Lindisfarne. She's
going to end up with a Bingham here, but she had space, and she was in plenty of space for a while. She's going to get a free kick for in the back here, I think. So they'll have their first foray forward and their first opportunity to put some pressure on the scoreboard. It's a scrubby little kick, isn't it? Glenorchy are there to try and repel, but out the back, Lindisfarne with a hack sort of kick towards full forward, playing in front there as she always has, is Hunt. Kick towards goal, dangerous here for Glenorchy. What can they do? Can they pick up the ball cleanly? Working hard, a quick kick out of the congestion. It might have been by Rhodes, the captain. It's gone across the face, out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Gee whiz, again, Lindisfarne do look dangerous when they go forward, just because it is a lot more open. So it is a boundary throw in deep into the attacking area for the 2 Blues. They go up. It was Mayer Free, of course. Free and Hunter, the 2 goal scorers, they've got 2 apiece. So anytime they get near it. Their nostrils flare as they go towards the goals. Just bullocking, pushing at the sides of each other. Can't get the ball out. Lindisfarne need to really fight hard, as that one I think is going to be deemed in the back. And it's Cooper who's going to be given the free kick. If she plays in front, Tom, as we see here on the Mood Food replay, that's the reward for playing in front in this combative sport of Australian rules football.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that free kick. Tough shot for goal, this one, though. I wonder what she's going to do. She's going to set it up to the hot spot. It's sort of what she does. Glenorchy playing in front, off hands. Oh, shrugs a would-be tackler. That was nice from Jones. Dangerous kick, though, again, into a dangerous spot. Nice pick up, though, by Castle. She's been busy. Kick towards the middle of the ground now. Lindisfarne tracking that ball. They've got a couple of numbers here. If they can get clean hands, they might be away and a chance to mount her attack. Still in possession is Lindisfarne. Has a bounce. Jeez, that's great play. Arches the back. Excellent from Butler. Driving into a dangerous spot towards goal. What can they muster here? Lindisfarne, a nice pick up there from Nichols. A snap on goal. It's all clear. And I'll tell you what, scores a level.
Wow, what about that? The courage to take the game on. A couple of bounces through the centre of the ground, ends up in the hands of Stella Nichols, and she hasn't let the team down, Tom. As we see here on the Mood for replay, this is the moments that we alluded to. Have a look at the courage there to take the game on with that bounce.
That was Butler, I think it was.
Yep.
And she had a fantastic first half. She went out of the game, I think, a little bit in the third quarter, but now she's starting to really put her presence and stamp on this game as well. And, geez, that was a fantastic finish, wasn't it?
Well, Stella Nichols showed very, very good clean hands below her knees. And the other thing that she did so well there, Tommy, was stay on her feet. And she stayed in the contest. And now it is a very, very interesting game as Glenorchy go forward. They are super dangerous. They've got some ripping forwards down here, but it is Rhodes who defends so stoutly and grimly. Wouldn't you love to be on the trenches with her, as Lindisfarne are growing in stature as they're getting some belief in this game. Here is Free. Free goes on the wrong side of her body, and the crowd has really lifted here, Tom.
You can hear them, can't you? It's pulsating stuff at the moment. Nice tackle, nothing doing. Umpire says play on. Glenorchy trying to really just stand up here. Lynch with a hurried sort of kick off the ground, and she's going to follow up her own work, I think. A nice pick up. Good tackle by Lindisfarne, but she still manages to get boot to ball. The kick out wide. McCarthy drives towards half forward. Massive play here at centre half forward for Glenorchy. Gets a quick kick to ball. Lindisfarne probably first in the race. Might get a free kick there. Don't think she had possession.
The ever-reliable Gaffney as well there, Tom. She's just a real workhorse, does all the team things, as the two Blues take a very strong mark, running the wrong way there by Tennant. That showed a lot of courage, as we see here on the Mood Food replay. She had no idea what was coming. It could have been a freight train coming from the other end, as the two Blues now fighting very, very hard. I think that might have been taken that little bit too high, was it, or just a ball up? And the umpire says, let's have that one up. But the intensity here, Tom, you can just sense it out there.
It's palpable, isn't it? And I feel like Lindisfarne are running on top of the ground a little bit better than Glenorchy at the moment. So what have the Magpies got? We know they've had a fantastic season, but the real test is for them now. We're halfway through this final quarter, and you can't split them at the moment. Play on advantage, I think. Glenorchy out the back, chance. Can't quite get clean possession. Oh, that was clever. That was brilliant play there by Castle. Still working there in close quarters. Well, that handball might have got a word there from Lindisfarne, and they've ended up getting the ball moving forward and in a bit of space. She's found herself in space as Knowles. Handball over the back of the pack there to Bird, and kick towards full forward. In a bit of space, dropped the mark. Holding a footy.
Well, normally she's been so clean with her hands, Zoe Hunt, and that particular time it just eluded her. She tried, and good tackle. Defence got back, well played by the Magpies. They were under all sorts of pressure, and now they've got speed through the midfield, but it's at the bookends that Lindisfarne have been so good. Their captain, Zoe Rhodes, down half back, and Hunt up forward. But here come the midfield again, working hard. It's King over the back. She's being well played there by Burles, and here they come again. Rhodes, look at the way she goes, straight through from centre half back. Good tackle being applied there by Jones for Lindisfarne. Back through the centre. And a mark taken here by Noel. Noel plays on, and what a run-down tackle!
We need that on the Mood Food replay. That was fantastic.
Let's have that again for sure. That was Butler, Tom, and she's the girl who has got pace to burn. Took the game on to get that goal, and here it is again. Look at the rundown.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
we mentioned the moments earlier in this quarter, didn't we? There's another one for you, and it's 50 metres as well. So Lindisfarne, a real chance here to get themselves in front, I think probably for the first time in the match, in the dying stages as well, of a grand final.
Gee whiz, so what have we got there, Tom? We've got about 9 minutes gone in a 15-minute quarters. No time on. Brave mark, and here come Glenorchy right from the depths of their defensive area, looking for Castle. Castle comes out, barrels straight through. She did a great job to open up the play. Excuse me, back over the centre of the ground. Oh, Glenorchy well picked up by Preshaw as it goes inside the 50.
Numbers.
It's player on player. Glenorchy have numbers again. Look at the determination showed by Burles. Good Shepherd being applied as King comes in. King goes that quick kick, but look at them tracking back. They've got numbers, but they spilt the ball now. Well played by Lindisfarne. Burles back over. They're under all sorts of pressure, and it has been intercepted down, if you don't mind, by Jones, and she waltzes in and kicks the goal.
She's having a fantastic quarter. She's been brilliant out of the middle of the ground. A burst of speed. She's been fantastic, actually, the whole match, and she deserves that one.
Well, here's the Mood Food replay as we watch it again, Tom, as King quickly, and have a look at this, it's 3 Lindisfarne players as the handball was somewhat errant, and then look at the intercept work there by Brooklyn Jones.
Footy smarts, isn't it?
It was footy smarts, and the learning experience of Lindisfarne. It was almost like 3 looked at each other, didn't they, Tom, as if to say, will you take it, I take it, and as I said, that's where those moments where you say it's Tommy's ball and you just get in and rip it out of the air.
I'll take you back, though, to the half-back flank there a couple of minutes ago, and it was Holly Bristow who took that mark, and she played on with a bit of dash that was fantastic. Here's Jones again. Look at her. She's playing inspired footy at the moment, Hoppy, with that kick towards full forward. Playing in front is Glenorchy. Couldn't quite get there to take that mark. Chance at ground level, though. Glenorchy look like they've just found another gear.
Oh, they have indeed, and comes back over the back. Couldn't quite bring it up. That particular time was Jones, but any time she's in the area, she looks so dangerous as it's kicked. I think it's just hit the post. But she's very good at the pace that she runs at, Tom, isn't she? I like the way she runs nice and low to the ground, strong through the core.
Definitely. So they're going to have a throw in here now. I think the beauty for Lindisfarne, obviously it's at the other end of the ground, but they tend to be able to move the ball pretty quickly. So I think there's plenty of time on the clock for them still to mount, and they'll get one last chance. I think they will, though. It's a hurried kick towards goal, and that is a handy point.
Yes, every score now, Tom, is crucial. And a point would be nice because it just takes that lead out to a couple of scores.
They're going to need 2 scores now, aren't they? Yes.
So the 2 Blues, they have no time to muck around, so they go out with a bit of width to that wide position. Zoe Hunt, who's played deep down forward, has come down to try and get a Dukes on the onion, but it's Glenorchy, seemingly, as you just said a few minutes ago, Tom, they've just lifted another gear, haven't they?
It's what good teams do, I think, but here's Lindisfarne now. This could be their last chance. It's in the middle of the ground. Glenorchy would like this now, wouldn't they? They want just a couple of repeat stoppages. They're tracking the footy now. Might be Jones again there, I think, at the bottom of the pack. It squirts out, though. Can Lindisfarne get clean possession and mount? And it's Oregon that's going to Glenorchy. It is.
Well, that'll just settle them down, especially down on the bench. It's wonderful. You can see, 6 entries to 5 as Glenorchy go inside a King, and there is Molly Castle, takes a strong mark, and look at the composure, just taking a time now to Preshaw, and Preshaw will go back, probably a little bit too far out, but it will go right to the teeth of goal. It is under a lot of pressure as Burles is there. She holds it in, and time now is the enemy for Lindisfarne 2 Blues, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. Preshaw probably could have taken her 30 seconds there, I reckon, and just taken a bit of time off the clock. Backed off the ground. Once again, goes again, does Triffett. Couldn't quite get boot to ball that time. Pressure's applied again from Glenorchy. That's a stoppage. That's what they're after. And it's at the right end of the ground if you're a Magpies supporter.
And again, it's Brooklyn Jones. Not only she's doing all the great work offensively, but she was the one who put that very, very strong tackle on. And have a look at the numbers around the ball there. There are plenty of young ladies trying to win this game for their team as it comes towards Glenorchy. And Jamie Lee Triffett has just popped that one through for a minor score.
Yeah, they need to go now. Straight down the middle. They've got a number wide if they want. Has a bounce. She's got the right idea, and it's a nice kick, and that's where they need to go here. They need to go long and direct and get a lucky bounce and a few things to go their way in the middle of the ground. Tracking the footy here is still Lindisfarne, but it's Glenorchy now in possession. Handball over the top. Lindisfarne trying to pick up the footy, but they can't get it cleanly, can they? Off the ground goes Cooper towards half forward, but it's Glenorchy. They've just potentially put a couple of numbers behind the play now, haven't they? Here they go. Oh, that's great below her knees. A fantastic pickup. Playing in front is the Lindisfarne defender there. Jones is there. She's everywhere at the moment, isn't she? She'll want a stoppage. Doesn't get it. Lindisfarne with a handball out the back.
Yes, time just seems to be ticking by as King gets that ball. She will give her the benefit of the doubt as she looked towards one of the game breakers there in Brooklyn Jones. A nice solid bump by Hardy. This is when the forwards just need to dive on the ball, but they are keeping it out. They want to win it. They don't want to save it. They go deep into the attacking area. And why wouldn't you when you've got Brooklyn Jones down there? And Brooklyn Jones has just put the final nail in the coffin. A dagger through the heart of Lindisfarne, and she has slotted through her fourth goal, and she has been the difference in this final term, Tom.
I thought I was going to say, that's fitting, I think. Yeah, she signed off this game. It's going to be a grand final win. There's the siren. Premiers, the Glenorchy Magpies, a fantastic performance. They've been the team to beat all season, haven't they, Hoppy? And they were challenged today by a very, very gallant Lindisfarne outfit. But in the end, I think they were just a little bit too good towards the end of that final quarter, and the cream just rise to the top, didn't it?
Oh, gee whiz. Jared Free from Lindisfarne would be just ecstatic in one way that his girls have brought the best out of the opposition. And I say hats off to Lindisfarne for bringing that game. That said, I've seen a lot of teams wilt when pressure's being applied there, Tom, and Glenorchy, to their credit, they'll really enjoy this victory because it was so hard fought, wasn't it?
Absolutely it was. No, it was a great effort from both teams. A fantastic grand final. A great way to start the day, that's for sure. And there was, I think for both teams, there was some really, really strong contributors across the ground, wasn't there?
So we just look at the goal scorers for Glenorchy. Well, it was Brooklyn Jones with the 4, Bristow and Schwartz with the singles, Maya Free with 2, Zoe Hunt 2, and Stella Nichols 1 for Lindisfarne. But if that's the calibre of what we're going to have for the day, Tom, I tell you what, we are in for a wonderful day's junior football here at North Hobart Oval.
And you can just see the Glenorchy girls just celebrating there, and obviously commiserations to Lindisfarne. There's a bit of despair on the faces of those young girls, but they were so gallant today. It was a fantastic contest, and congratulations to Glenorchy.
Well, Tommy, thank you very much for joining my very good self, Andrew Silver Fox and Tommy Green. We've called this game. We are going to look at these jubilant scenes down there, and we'll be back just a second with the announcement of the best on ground and the presentations, and we'll go to that live in just a few moments.
Well, what a great game we've had there. Very exciting for the STWA Barwick's grand finals in the U15A2 division. It all came down to a stoic performance by Lindisfarne, who took it up to the mighty Magpies, but the Magpies hang on to a very, very hard-fought victory. We thank all our officials, and Lynette, if you can come forward, please, to present the medals to our umpires on today officiating.
Congratulations, everyone. It was a fine effort. Congratulations to Glenorchy, commiserations to Lindisfarne. Our umpires in the field today were Darren, Matilda and Shelby. Our boundary umpires were Connor and Kane. And goal umpires, April and Emily.
Thank you so much, and thank you very much to our umpires. I'd like to now call Jared Free, the coach of Lindisfarne, who would be somewhat forlorn on defeat, but be very, very proud of the performance by his girls. Congratulations on a great performance.
Okay, thank you, Glenorchy. Look, from the start of the year when you're flogging us by 60 points every game to the way today's game was played, I thought it was played in really good spirit. It probably hasn't always been that way this year between the two sides, but today it was a really good, hard contest with people going at the ball, and that's what we want to see in this sort of football, okay? To our girls, 10 new players in this side that never touched a football at the start of the year. So to get to the point where we actually got to a grand final, as an excellent effort, the improvement all year was just fantastic. Yeah, thank you and congratulations, Glenorchy. Good game.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, it is a team game, but we also would like to acknowledge individual excellence, and the best on the ground today being a judge that is for Glenorchy with a wonderful effort and 4 goals, number 29, Brooklyn Jones. And to present this award is the STJFL President, Mr. Jim Horn. Brooklyn lets all her talking done but with her football, so very well done indeed. So now I have the very pleasant duty to invite the winning coach to come forward, Luke McCarthy. And it looks like he's got an assistant coach as well.
All right, this is going to be short and sweet. I'd like to start off with thanking the STJFL for the year. Thank you for all your support. Glenorchy Football Club, thanks for all your support as well. To the umpires, thanks. Yeah, but it's all right. No, it's all right. Just joking. But yeah, I mean, congratulations to our side. Glenorchy, well done, and Lindisfarne, a bit unlucky, but there's always next year. Right, that's it, I think. But yeah. Call the players out. Yep. All right, we'll call the players out now. So we'll start with Brooklyn Jones. Yeah, you're all right. Right. Leah Smith. Maybe. You can't talk into it. Lacey Howell. Eva Noel. Alani Henlin. Amy Trifford. Shyla Goodsall. Madison Hardy. Lily Holbrook Dobson. Talisha Schwartz. Molly Castle. Tanner King. Aria King. Madeline Lynch. Sarah Preshaw. Holly Bristol. And last but not least, my favourite player, Ella McCarthy.
Now, Luke, there's only one more thing to present you is, of course, the Coaches Award. There we go. The coach needs one of those. Congratulations. And there's your winning hat. And if we can ask the captains, please, to come forward. So is it Amy and Maddie, please come forward. As again, the president of the STJFL, Mr. Jim Horn, is to present the victory of the Cup to the under-15 A2 division, Glenorchy Football Club. Congratulations, Glenorchy.
They might be away and a chance to mount her attack. Still in possession is Lindisfarne. Has a bounce.
Oh.
Geez, that's great play. Arches the back. Excellent from Butler. Driving into a dangerous spot towards goal. What can they muster here? Lindisfarne, a nice pick up there from Nichols. A snap on goal. It's all clear. And I'll tell you what, scores a level.
Wow-wee, what about that? The courage to take the game on. A couple of bounces through the centre of the ground, ends up in the hands of Stella Nichols, and she hasn't let the team down, Tom. As we see here on the Mood replay, this is the moments that we alluded to. Have a look at the courage there to take the game on with that bounce.
That was Butler, I think it was.
Yep.
And she had a fantastic first half. She went out of the game, I think, a little bit in the third quarter, but now she's starting to really put her presence and stamp on this game as well. And geez, that was a fantastic finish, wasn't it?
Well, Stella Nichols showed very, very good clean hands below her knees, and the other here by Noel. Noel plays on, and what a run-down tackle!
We need that on the Mood Food replay. That was fantastic.
Let's have that again. Right as King comes in. King goes that quick kick, but look at them tracking back. They've got numbers, but they spilt the ball now. Well played by Lindisfarne. Burls back over. They're under all sorts of pressure, and it has been intercepted down, if you don't mind, by Jones, and she waltzes in and kicks the goal.
She's having a fantastic quarter. She's been brilliant out of the middle of the ground. A burst of speed. She's been fantastic, actually, the whole match, and she deserves that one.
Well, here's the Mood Food replay as we watch it again, Tom, as King quickly, and have a look at this, it's 3 Lindisfarne players as the handball was somewhat errant, and then look at the intercept work there by Brooklyn Jones.
Footy smart, isn't it?
It was footy smart, and the learning experience of Lindisfarne. It was almost like 3 looked at each other, didn't they, Tom, as if to say, will you take it, I take it, and as I said, a nice solid bump by Hardy. This is when the forwards need to dive on the ball, but they are keeping it out. They want to win it, they don't want to save it. They go deep into the attacking area, and why wouldn't you when you've got Brooklyn Jones down there? And Brooklyn Jones has just put the final nail in the coffin. A dagger through the heart of Lindisfarne, as she has slotted through her 4th goal, and she has been the difference in this final term, Tom.
I thought I was going to say, that's fitting, I think. Yeah, she signed off this game. It's going to be a grand final win. There's the siren. Premiers, the Glenorchy Magpies, a fantastic performance. They've been the team to beat all season, haven't they, Hoppy? And they were challenged today by a very, very gallant Lindisfarne outfit. But in the end, I think they were just a little bit too good towards the end of that final quarter, and the cream just rised to the top, didn't it?
Oh, gee whiz. Jared Free from Lindisfarne would be just ecstatic in one way that his girls have brought the best out of the opposition, and I say hats off to Lindisfarne for bringing that game. That said, I've seen a lot of teams wilt when pressure's being applied there, Tom, and Glenorchy, to their credit, they'll really enjoy this victory because it was so hard fought, wasn't it?
Absolutely it was. No, it was a great effort from both teams. A fantastic grand final. A great way to start the day, that's for sure. And there was, I think for both teams, there was some really, really strong contributors across the ground, wasn't there?
So we just look at the goal scorers for Glenorchy. Well, it was Brooklyn Jones with the 4, Bristow and Schwartz with the singles, Maya Free with 2, Zoe Hunt 2, and Stella Nichols 1 for Lindisfarne. But if that's the calibre of what we're going to have for the day, Tom, I tell you what, we are in for a wonderful day's junior football here at North Hobart Oval.
And you can just see the Glenorchy girls just celebrate.